All right, man. We back for another episode of the What's Good, Bro podcast, man. We got the crew in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We got Dre be chilling over here.
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
And we got Sonny in the building.
What's good, y'all?
And we got Coach K right here holding it down. Shout out to our other brothers that's in real life just holding it down themselves, man. Tweezy Chain and Jay. We got a really good conversation today.
It's gonna be interesting.
Really interesting, and I don't want to say it's hypothetical, but it's really no wrong answer. I'll say it like that. So should we say the question now?
I guess we could. Yeah, we can say it now.
All right. So the question we're gonna talk about a little bit later is what impacted the black community the worst? Slavery, Jim Crow, or the crack pandemic?
Yep, and we'll each make an argument for which one we chose. So we each pick something different. So it should be an interesting episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Very interesting.
All right, but before we get into that fun conversation that we're going to have, we got to check in with each other and see what's going on the local tip and in the culture, man. So what's been up with you, man?
Oh, man. It's been, I guess the whole summer for me has been very, I don't know how to say it, but I just been deep diving into, the things that make me me, I guess. So, I think my grandmother's death kind of, it propelled me to look into my childhood and why my personality is the way it is. So it's been an interesting summer.
I respect that.
Yeah, stuff like that can help you to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was the purpose. I didn't think I was gonna grow as fast as I did looking into it, but it's still a pandemic, so I really don't be out like that. So a lot of time to just deep dive into yourself.
Yeah, I like that. Sonny, what's good with you, man?
Basically been chilling. We're still in this pandemic, dodging Rona. Trying to still work on side projects, still progressing in the career. So we're just trying to keep it pushing. So nothing too much changing from the last episode, but we're still working. We're still trying to progress, and just got some stuff on the way. Good stuff on the way.
Most definitely.
Hey, Coach, what's going on with you?
Coach, the season's back up and going now. We had our preseason last week. I got a whole new team.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a schedule.
Oh man, it's
y'all still doing threes or y'all running fours?
We're running fives now. Okay. So we indoors 5-on-5. It should be a good season.
Y'all still playing Saturdays?
Saturday mornings. I'll definitely get y'all the schedule so everybody can come out and support. Group of new guys, man. So it's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah,
interesting. I don't know if we're gonna get a championship, but we're gonna play to get that. But it's definitely gonna be some good mentorship happening. So that's what we there for. Right. And fantasy football is starting up. See this.
Literally,
I haven't
as we speak.
As we speak, and I haven't done the league in probably a couple years. So it's good to get back in that. And I won this league 2 times when I did before. Yeah, so I got little skills. But it's been a minute, so I got to actually start watching football and everything.
My dude,
if you're not watching football,
it's a little
low kid GM.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I like it. It's gonna be fun. And other than that, man, just working, staying grounded, and just doing what I can for real. Definitely looking forward to our conversation today, and always excited to be here and doing this for real. So.
Yeah, I guess staying with football, the Ravens once again undefeated in the preseason.
Yeah.
Even though that means absolutely nothing, it just means we got good backups.
Yep.
Which does mean something. That means our depth is, we're solid as far as our depth chart. I think who's the kid, Huntley?
Yeah.
He did his thing. I'm like, he has to be QB number 2.
Yeah.
He got to be.
He definitely shining.
Yeah, he's
shining.
I haven't watched any of the preseason games because, like I said, I don't really think it's that important. It's important for the future of the team, but for the upcoming season, I don't think the preseason is a reflection of what this team will do.
Well, look, I just think that injuries are bound to happen. So when we talk about this, like the guys who are going to be the backups, they play an important role because if Lamar goes down, who do you want to step in there? I think Huntley kind of solidified himself. Like I think he already had a lead over McSorley. I think that was the other guy, just because his style is similar to Lamar. So it's not like the offensive coordinator has to do a lot of adjusting with Huntley as opposed to McSorley. So
it's a different offense when McSorley comes in versus Huntley. So
So you got mobile quarterback versus pocket quarterback. So that's also a challenge, but.
This draft is killing me. It's gonna be over real soon.
Yeah, it's all good. But that's local. Anything else local we got going on? I can't really think of nothing.
No, it's not really too much going on locally. They did the ANTI-VAXXERS festival,
Retro,
but yeah,
that doesn't count.
We're just gonna keep past that. See you next year.
What do you think about like the FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine?
I don't think it's going to influence anybody that hasn't got the vaccine to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
It can. So, like when you talk about employers, so it's
going to require. It might move employers to require people to get the vaccine.
So the thing is, because of that mandate, it gives a wider range of employers the muscle to say, hey, either you're going to lose the job and have to look for other employment, or you'll need to get this vaccine, because it went from, certain state, national government and enterprises being like, you have to take this test twice a week, a minimum of once a week, to we can make this mandatory now. So forget the testing. You have to get vaccinated. Yeah, so.
That's definitely interesting to see how
and
employers and schools.
And that was triggered off of the, hey, look, even if you don't trust the other vaccines that Pfizer's FDA approved, now you have no excuse. We can push it past this barrier now.
And then the weird thing, like it had emergency approval. It just now it has like the full approval because the vaccine came out so quick. It usually takes a little bit longer for the research to happen before it gets full approval, but. Yeah. I guess you're right in the sense that no one who wasn't voluntarily getting who was voluntarily refusing to get the vaccine is going to voluntarily choose to get it now that it has full FDA approval. But employers will now be able to say, "Hey,
got to."
They'll treat it almost like it's like a chicken pox, like where it's like, you have to get this shot if you want to be in this public building.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing that kind of change, especially like when you talk about the federal government, federal contractors, military officials, and that it's going to be mandatory at least by at some point. It should be mandatory at some point.
Well, I think people need to realize that that COVID ain't going nowhere. Like there's already rumors that it's probably going to like evolve again this year or like next year. So we're going to treat it like the flu, where there's going to be a flu shot and a COVID shot every year. It just changes because the flu the flu evolves every year. So it's always a different strain of the flu. It's going to be a different strain of COVID every year. So,
but I don't think they should make it mandatory. I mean, you don't make the flu shot mandatory.
Flu shot. Well, at one point the flu shot probably was mandatory, but then as less people are able to carry it, it doesn't evolve as much. Sure. So with us only being a year or 2 years into it, it's going to be mandatory for probably the next couple of years until there's less carriers of it, so it doesn't evolve as quickly and it's not as deadly.
Well, they got me. I got my shots on. I ain't planning on going to get no more.
It's like I cooperated the first time I got my vaccine. Now you're talking about a booster.
I'm good. I don't need no boost.
Yeah, man, and I think. I think the era that we live in, we dramatize stuff so much. And I had a conversation with one of my homeboys. Every generation has gone through some bullshit, like some absolute bullshit. If we weren't in a world war, we had to deal with something. There was something.
The world don't stop turning. We just choose to deal with shit in different ways.
That's real.
And I think this is our generation's chaos. Like this is our set of stuff. You can count 9/11.
There we go. Good transition, because this was one chaos, but then we also just finished a 20-year war. Even though niggas acted like 8 years ago it was over when Barry got elected.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we just pulled out of Afghanistan after 20 years. I don't think we ever found any weapons of mass destruction, so we can stop believing that lie as to why we went to war.
My thing that's so crazy about that is like the way that stuff went down in Afghanistan. Like, how are the soldiers this bad in Afghanistan? Because we were there for 20 years training soldiers so that they could defend themselves against the Taliban, and then they just like turn tail.
Well, the thing is, we trained the Taliban too.
It was good training.
We trained the Taliban, and them motherfuckers, they just don't believe in the rules of war. So they're like, oh, we can do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. And I guess the Afghan military was like, oh, this isn't in the rule book, so we don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think somebody broke it down. Like, a lot of the Afghan military, like they are former farmers. Like they aren't just not with the smoke.
Right.
They're just, they're merchants, farmers.
They're not soldiers.
They're not soldiers.
Yeah.
Whereas the Taliban, like, they ready to die for
Where
this
it's
shit.
like in 300, where it's like, we got 300 soldiers, but then when he went to the other group, the other army, he was like, so what are you? He's like, oh yeah, I'm a potter. And the other guy was like, yeah, I'm a farmer. Like, yeah, so y'all in the army, but y'all not soldiers. So when it comes down to get to it, y'all not with it.
Yeah, and then it's like the Afghan military could outnumber the Taliban, but it's like and I hate to say this, it's like for 20 Afghan soldiers, you have like 5. It's like 5 real soldiers that could probably take on that 20.
The whole Taliban, they actual soldiers. Like, all of them will kill you. The Afghan military, they probably won't. Like, they will if they absolutely have to. The Taliban will do it just because.
They will take themselves out just to take you out. And that's they're willing to go 10 times further than the Afghan military.
They are dedicated to whatever their purpose is.
I also thought it was a bad look. Like, do you remember that image of a bunch of like Afghan men chasing down that plane?
Yeah.
And you saw no women, you saw no children. I'm like, you're not going to try to protect your family? It's just about you, huh?
Well, the thing is, apparently the Taliban just going to kill all the men. They're going to use the women as bodies to repopulate the country. So the men are not trying to die, and they're like, you can get raped a little bit, and
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Man,
the man's like, I'm gonna die. You just gonna be a handmaid.
It's definitely a lot going on.
You'll be all right. I'll be back. You'll be fine. That's sick.
It is very sick.
It's awkward, but also what's really weird is, I guess it's a good thing, but also a bad thing. Like Airbnb is like donating, like they're paying for like 20,000 refugees to live in America.
Oh wow!
But we got hella homeless people. It's like, y'all couldn't do that while we had these homeless folks.
At least they doing something. Yeah,
world.
it is very
That's
tricky
gonna be a
world.
nice tax
Yeah.
write-off.
That to me, that's doing something for the wrong reason. You're doing it because it's going to make headlines.
It's gonna be a nice tax write-off.
Nice tax write-off. Well, we're gonna pray for Afghanistan and the fallen soldiers, and the bombers as well.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about before we go into the main subject, I guess. What do you think about the OnlyFans pullback?
I know you don't read our notes, but I had that on the notes. So yeah, if y'all not aware, OnlyFans at beginning of the month, they said that they going to ban all adult content starting October 1st. And before the month ended, they reneged real quick. They was like,
The community was hot. They was like, "Yo, I need somewhere to sell my nudes."
they said, hold up. I think they realized how much money they would lose if like the adult content community like left OnlyFans, and they just was like, oh, we can't afford this.
They wanted to switch their imagery.
OnlyFans wanted to become Patreon, but I don't think they realized that nobody was about to do like exclusive non-adult content on OnlyFans. It's just gonna be straight porn. Like, that's all it's gonna be.
It sounded good, but then who else? Like, what else would they do on OnlyFans? So,
Yeah, I was thinking that they lean too much into certain sponsors that they wanted.
Yeah,
because there's certain sponsors that just cannot sponsor a platform like OnlyFans or Pornhub or something like that.
With stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and those are the sponsors I'm assuming they wanted, so they were just like, oh, we're gonna step away from that, and it's like, no, like the risk isn't worth. Like this is you've already achieved so much profit from this. Just stick with this.
Yeah, like hey, I know this might not be what you want your image of your company to be, but
Right.
fuck it, that's what it
I'm
is.
about to say it is what it is.
It is what it is, because without the adult content, what would OnlyFans be?
Yeah, and
Who
then
we even know about it?
and they're probably bringing in ridiculous amount of money because they get a cut. They get a percentage of what they sell on that site. So it's like they're getting their piece. It's been a good relationship with the I guess you can say entertainers,
Yeah, the sex workers.
the sex workers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not paying for nobody's OnlyFans, but clearly someone is. And I ain't mad at the women that are getting money off of the men that decide to subscribe to
Oh, yeah.
monthly content.
Yeah, that's a come up.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the coonery on social media these
Which
last
one?
couple weeks.
Oh, these the Great Olympics.
The
Hood Olympics.
the Great Olympics, yo. Where
Tell
did
them how
this
you
come
feel.
from, yo?
Tell them how you feel, dog.
Yo, this crate challenge is the most.
You sounded so irritated.
Very much so, yo. I'm tired of just these followers. Yo. Like, you just hurting yourself for what, yo? Only ones I kind of respect, like, people did it for like $1,000. I might take the challenge, you know what I'm saying? But come on, yo, are you doing this for
I would only
likes?
take the $1,000 if I didn't see someone else fail. Like if I've never seen it before, then it's like, yeah, I give you $1,000 if you make it from this side to the other side. And I've never seen it before.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
But after I've seen 2 people fall, I would never even.
Hey, yo, this shit is just crazy, yo.
Even when the people make it, they have to basically
Run down.
run.
Yo.
So the success rate is low as hell.
Yo, it was kind of entertaining, you know.
It was entertaining the first 24 hours that I seen it, but then it's like, oh, y'all still doing it.
Like, what type of
going.
niggatry is this?
It really kept
Like,
going.
no, it was OD after
And
a
then
while.
I saw like TikTok banned the crate challenge, so like I don't know how you really do that, but
China is banned or something?
they see too many people get hurt, yo. And too many people
Okay.
got hurt. They was at a hospital. I saw a picture of the dude with the little ice pack on his back. That shit was
Oh yeah, that was
swollen as
internal
hell.
bleeding.
Yo, dumb as hell. But
I still want to know where y'all getting these crates from.
real talk,
I ain't never seen so many milk crates in my life.
where do y'all get these from,
Like,
yo?
Did y'all just all as a community just be like, yo, we gotta get all the milk crates that we can get,
Right.
and we gonna kill this and we gonna go viral?
Yeah, they sure went viral, yo.
But yeah, they went viral.
They
But
sure went viral.
all attention is not good attention. So
Well, no, you can't say that in this generation. They won't believe you. They
that
won't.
don't mean I can't say it.
Good
I'ma
point.
say it.
Yeah, man. They be like, what are you talking about? It's currency. Attention is
Yeah.
currency. This generation, forget money. I want followers.
Exactly. That's wow.
Very wild.
Hooey.
It's a sick world, man. It's like nobody wants to get rich on the low. They rather be regular, look rich in public, and get the admiration than nobody know that they're rich and then actually be rich.
It's what's crazy is we are the generation where hard work was at one point romanticized. Like everyone was like, yeah, you gotta work hard, work hard, work hard. Now it's just like,
Yo,
nah, it's like they use the word hustle, but hustle doesn't mean like
It
to us
comes
hustle
faster.
meant like grind and work hard.
Yeah.
But for them, hustle means, oh, this is gonna be
Overnight.
get rich quick. That's what hustle means to them.
And
So
I feel like we're the middle child. Like I feel like if you were born in the 90s at a certain point, or you were born like 1990 or 1989, like you're just like the middle kid. Like
Yeah.
you have the older generation that worked hard to a fault. Like you're working hard, but you're not working smart.
yeah.
Then you have the younger generation that just wants to find a scam.
yeah, we're in the middle where we the generation before us was like, if you work hard, they had the belief that if you work hard, no matter what, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, even though that's not necessarily always.
Yeah, you can work hard in the wrong
Like
direction.
they wanted to retire by like 65.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And now we got the generation after us is like they want to retire by 35, and they feel like you don't have to work hard at all.
It's almost a sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
Facts.
Like I'm like, dog, like you can do both. You can work hard and you can work smart. It's just
and that's what the real successful people do. They work hard and then they work smart.
Right.
Like you work hard to a point where you don't have to work as hard anymore. Eventually, you start working smarter versus working harder. Then, like, you have to work hard in the beginning, but then, like, working smart and working hard, like, you gradually interchange that. Where once you get to a certain point, you're just working smart. But now the generation after us, they're like, oh, I can just work smart and never work hard.
Nah.
But you got, at some point, you have to work hard. And then
in order for it to flourish.
Yeah, and then that changes into working smart.
And then here's the thing, and here's the bad part. Because people can go viral, someone will get a large sum of money not working hard, but just getting lucky. Like you had lightning in a bottle one time.
Yeah.
And then they're not seeing that this person who got famous is not sustaining it. Like, you got that money one time. That doesn't mean you beat the system. That means you got lucky.
Yep, that 15 seconds of fame is what everybody's chasing, and they don't realize that
it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
First of all, that 15 seconds really only about 2.
But one day.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is? Like, the most successful, like, even content creators, they say you have to enjoy. You put in the work. You enjoy the creative process. You're happy. You know what? You understand that at first you're going to have, 5 views, 10 views on your stuff, and then you just put in the work. You put the craft in, and then it ends up balancing itself out if it's quality work. You got other content creators, they just want to do like, okay, I'm going to do this challenge. Okay, I'm going to be viral for doing something stupid.
They just hop it on whatever the trends are versus actually being trendsetters.
I'm going to put Gorilla Glue in my hair. Like...
She didn't do that on purpose, though.
She was just...
They were followers.
She was moving too quick.
There were followers.
No. So, yeah,
there were followers? Oh, my God.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, but, everybody just... It's really weird. People see whatever that most popular hashtag is on the internet, and they immediately hop into it, no matter what it's like. This crate challenge, like
the crate challenge is
people probably looked at it like, oh, this is stupid, but then you see that one of these crate challenges got 1 million views in 24 hours. So you're like, oh, I'm about to do that.
Let me go get some crates. You can go to every store around and ask if you got some crates I can have.
Yeah.
For what?
Buy.
For what?
I don't know. I seen Boosie was doing the crate challenge in his front yard, and I'm like, nigga, you are rich. What are you doing? Like, I understand poor people.
Boosie funny, though, yo.
I understand poor people doing it because y'all ain't got nothing better to do, even though y'all had a whole pandemic to find something to do.
There you go.
Boosie
was like, hey, I'm back home. Yo, somebody pull up the crates. Pull out the crate.
Boosie is a special dude, man.
He is.
I remember we was like, no, man, please not my Instagram. No, man. Come on, man.
Hey, he was on the Breakfast Club, too, talking about his gay comments and everything like that.
Oh,
yeah, it was a good interview. And then it was funny because they actually had, I don't know the person's name, but they had the trans
comedian.
Yeah. So she was on there too, and she was kind of siding with Boosie a little bit in ways, but it was a good conversation they had.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you got a lot of people in the LGBT community who look at her. I think it's like Flame something.
Yeah, that's what it is. Flame
Monroe. Yeah. They kind of say like, oh yeah, you're a traitor, this, that, and the third. I'm like,
for real?
Like, I think she's an older person, so she's kind of probably has an old school mindset about it. Like, she's not 20 something years old. Like, she's like 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she probably has
an old... I got bullied, so I don't have a problem with y'all getting bullied.
She said something like she doesn't want her child to be gay because of the shit that she's been through. It's like she understands, the reality it is to be gay, and then what comes with it. And then she's like, I don't want my child to live the same life I live.
Yeah. And all that showed me is that, like, just because you belong to a certain group doesn't mean that you all think the same. Like, you got no group is a monolith. Like,
exactly.
They have different opinions in that community.
Yeah.
Like, you'll have gay gentlemen who are in politics and they're in professional roles, and then they think other gay people are doing the most. Like, hey, we don't have to do all that. Like, we don't have to carry ourselves in that mindset. And you wouldn't think that other gay people would feel that way, but there's that almost. I don't even want to label them as conservative, but they're more conservative than their more liberal counterparts. Like, no, like, I'm gay, but I'm still I still wear all men's clothing, and I still carry
Not
myself in this
skipping
manner.
around town.
Exactly.
Literally.
So I don't carry myself, and I'm not saying that's, look, like I said, just a side note. I'm not saying anything's right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's a view in that community.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Who we done with the?
I do want to know how y'all feel about Sha Carri. Sha Carri Richardson. You know, she
Going outside.
She's young.
Yeah, she's definitely young. So she was in the race. I don't know. It wasn't
I don't know
Olympics.
if you want to call it a race. Well, she wasn't in the race. A race happened, and she was one of the people that was lined up at the starting line.
Yo.
But I'm sorry, in a 100-meter dash, it's milliseconds that decide between first and second place.
True.
She had, it might have been almost a whole second between her and first place.
Man, she got blown. She blown out.
What's the girl's name? Elaine?
I don't know.
Fast. No, I'm gonna find
First
out
of
her
all,
name because she deserves a shout out.
You
She
already
did her
know
thing.
any Jamaican that got 4 names, you're not beating them in a race. She has 4. You're not beating her in a race.
Hey, yo.
And all of the first of all, we hyped her up when she never raced anyone outside the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't. Well, she got disqualified from the Olympics, so she didn't really get to face her real competition in professional track and field.
Yeah.
So I think she was surprised.
Yeah.
At how fast the motherfuckers really.
It was a lot of hype, and she been through a lot, and we don't know what her training process was like.
Yeah.
But she wasn't prepared.
Yeah, she just wasn't prepared, and they were already critical about how fast she got out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like how she needs to warm up and goes into her stuff. But I think the level of competition was so different, she got away with it.
Yeah.
And the Jamaicans are just different.
Just flat out.
They're different.
Flat
So
out.
the woman who didn't get as much media attention but actually won the race, her name is Elaine Thompson Hara. So she has 3 names, not 4.
But there's another one though that had like 4 names. If you look at the other people, like something Fraser or something. It's
like it's something Fraser. Yeah, but I'm gonna look. Yeah. So basically, she's 2-time double Olympic gold medalist and a 5-time Olympic gold medalist, and she's a national record holder in Jamaica, the fastest country
in the
world in the 100 meter.
Shout out to you.
My only thing with Sha Carri, which is hard to say it because she's in an individual sport essentially, so you gotta have like a high level, like a big ego to compete in something like that. But her disqualification should have been a nice slice of humble pie for her. And she came back even more ego. Well, the thing is, when she got disqualified, everybody supported her, so she didn't really
feel like she was wrong.
Yeah, she didn't feel like she was wrong, so it kind of probably boosted her ego a little bit more than what it should have. But what she should have did was look at the motherfucking Olympic trials and see the motherfuckers is running faster than I ever ran before in my life.
Yeah, and
so
I would have liked it a lot more, and maybe this is just me. If she would have looked at it and like, look, I just got to improve. I got to get better. I got to get back focused. I went through a lot, and they did an outstanding job. Sometimes you got to take that road because the Jamaicans came out there to make a point. Even when they did the interviews, whenever they brought her up, they was like, no comment, no comment. I'm talking about the winners, like no comment.
Right. They're like, yeah, we're not talking about her.
We're not talking about her.
They already realized that she's not in their league yet.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like they've been there, done that. So this was Sha Carri's first Olympics. It's probably one of her first professional track races ever. So
and she can get faster. That's the thing. It's not like she's so like into the game that like, oh, this is the fastest she'll ever get. If she hones her craft, she's going to get faster. So it's like,
yeah, she's got to like they said, like she doesn't get off the blocks fast.
She doesn't. Yeah, it's a warm up.
The only other track person who didn't get off the block fast that could still make up was Usain. Like, and he didn't get out the blocks fast because he's 6'4". It's impossible to get out the blocks fast when you're that tall. Like your body's just too scrunched up in the block.
Yeah.
She's not tall enough she's not long enough to make up for it.
Yeah, she's not long enough or strong enough to to win a race like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Usain Bolt was embarrassing cats because they would be like, "Yeah, I got this," and then you just see this long stride come out of nowhere, and then he just points to the clock.
And even like he didn't get out the blocks fast. Like he was never the first person off the blocks, but after about 3 or 4 steps, he's at full speed.
Yeah,
it took Sha Carri half the race to get to full speed, and by then you gone.
Yeah,
like it's impossible.
Against professionals who are naturally talented as they were. And I don't know how people look at this. It's like silver, like bronze, silver, and gold went to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
they swept the 100 meter.
Right,
that.
like
They did that.
What country? Like that's what Kenya does every year.
Yeah,
in
like
the long distance.
Yeah.
They kill it every year. But yeah, man, I think that's everything we got for
talked a lot about
this current news, local news,
the current culture, and Kanye West dropped today, so just gonna get us some time to marinate.
Yup.
Y'all have fun with that.
I will.